So on number, what is it, 49? Forgot to put the number. Just put it right here. Number 49, they're asking you to evaluate this. So tangent of negative 6 pi. You can leave the negative in there and just know that you're going this way, right? But it doesn't matter if you go negative or positive. When it's 6 pi, you're going to land right here no matter what. So tangent, remember the ordered pair here is 1, 0. So the tangent, y over x, is 0. Over here, cosine of 9 pi over 4, I changed the 9 pi over 4 to 2 1/4. So that would be, 2 pi and 1/4, you land right here. Cosine is 1 pi over 4, radical 2 over 2. So the answer is radical 2 over 2. Alright, so applying the even-odd properties, sine of negative 9 pi over 4 is negative sine of 9 pi over 4. And tangent of negative pi over 4 is negative tangent, but you already have a negative right here, so it becomes plus tangent of 9 pi over 4. Okay, so here on the right I have 9 pi over 4 changed to a mixed number, and then if you see the graph here, the angle is in quadrant 1. It's a pi over 4 angle in quadrant 1. So the sine, negative radical 2 over 2, and then tangent would be 1. Get a common denominator, negative radical 2 over 2 plus 2 over 2. So you can keep it as negative radical 2 plus 2 over 2, or switch the order so that the negative is in the middle, like that. Okay, on 51 I'm going to apply the even-odd properties again. So cosine of negative 17 pi over 4 is cosine of positive 17 pi over 4. Remember, the x value doesn't change when you go from a positive theta to a negative theta. Sine of negative 3 pi over 4, on the other hand, it does change to the opposite. So there's already a negative right there, so that becomes plus sine of 3 pi over 4. Okay? Now the cosine of 17 pi over 4, I drew the angle over here. 17 pi over 4 is 4 1/4. So that would land right here in quadrant 1 at pi over 4. So the cosine of pi over 4 would be radical 2 over 2 plus the sine of 3 pi over 4. So 3 pi over 4 is over here in quadrant 2, and it would be radical 2 over 2. So when you combine that, you get 2 radical 2 over 2, which is radical 2. So 52 sine squared of 40 degrees plus cosine squared of 40 degrees, since the angles are the same and both sine and cosine are squared and they're added together, it equals 1. Okay, so for number 53, again, they're asking you for the exact value, so that means no calculators. Yet 18 is not a special angle, right? So you go to your Pythagorean identities, and remember that secant squared theta is 1 plus tangent squared theta, right? But the theta in this case is 18 degrees. Bring down the negative tangent squared 18 degrees. So this is 0. You end up with 1. Okay, so we look at the second term right here, this one. The angles are the same, so we can apply the quotient identity. So sine theta over cosine theta is tangent theta. So this becomes tangent of 40 degrees minus tangent of 40 degrees, and that's 0.